welcome back everyone, welcome back to another StarsWar 11 qualifier for the regions of Europe and Americas, qualifier number 2. Welcome everyone, I'm of course your host VIP, and with me I'm joined by the lovely people in the chat, by these amazing players, !B for the bracket command in the chat, because the bracket, it's full, it's filled to the brim of players, and we are diving into our first series. Up first here on the CranKy Ducklings, we have Kelazhur versus ArT. Let's go. Let us go. There's no gasm, Papi. There's no gasm. What do you mean? What are you talking about? As we're diving into game 1 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of site Delta, we have our pink Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is ArT. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the blue Terran representing ArT Esports. It is Kelazhur. Let's go. Again, we have a TVP to kick things off. As a reminder, for those who are unaware, again, there is a bracket. The bracket is live, the bracket is out there, and 4 players will qualify. 4 players from this bracket will qualify into the closed qualifier of the StarsWar 11 Europe and Americas regional, the closed qualifier for that region, where you can then advance on into the main event. So again, top 4 will make it to the closed qualifier. And yesterday we had the first qualifier. Yesterday we had 4 players already make it through. We had Clem, we had Showtime, we had Rainer, and we had a Laser. 1 Terran, 1 Protoss, and 2 Zergs. And now who will join those players? That is the question here. We got some big names in the bracket. We got players like Spirits. We have players like Skillus as well, Estrella, Geralt, Nicarat, as well as players like these two, Kelazhur and ArT. Of course, they do definitely have it in them to qualify, so we'll see how deep they can go. We'll see if they can be a part of that offline event. We're here for it. For now, gate expand. Gate expand out of ArT, nothing too crazy, just a standard opener from our pink Protoss. Meanwhile, Kelazhur goes double gas. Double gas opener leads into a faster factory, leads into a more aggressive build. We've spoken about this before. This can lead into Reaper Hellion, this can go into faster Cyclone production, this could be a committed mine drop, it could be something else. Kelazhur has been a very aggressive player here in this matchup, very aggressive, very in your face. I'm curious to see where he takes us, as he's going for a Reaper first into the Reactor, into, I imagine, additional Reapers. We could go for the add-on swap, but I don't know if we're quite set up for that, as, oh my god. Okay, CC. For a moment there, I was like, are we making another factory? No. It is going to be CC on the high ground. Just a delayed CC because of the double gas. There we go, factory is now done across the map. We try to dip in. We are going to be denied entry to the main base. Was Reaper, oh, the wall! The wall is a little bit off center, a little bit misplaced. There is a little bit of a gap there that the Reaper can slip by. But for now, it is going to be forced back. And again, we have our tech of choice. It is going to be a Stargate opener. Looking at the vision of Kelazhur, he has not seen the Stargate. He is in the dark. Now behind this, it's going to be a mine drop. Interesting, so we don't go for the add-on swap, we're going for Reactor and Marines, at least initially in the early game, followed by the mine drop that is on the horizon as well for Kelazhur. Now the mine drop is designed to, yes, get a little bit of damage done, but more importantly to scout, to get some scouting information, to get a read on what ArT is up to. You can see because Kelazhur didn't scout the tech, he's looking for any kind of proxy, making sure that there's no hidden pylon out on the map, making sure he's safe and sound. There we go, as Widow Mines, they are getting set up here. Both of them burrowing at the ramp. They're in position to deny any kind of Stalker or Adept waddling on in. Not quite in position for Phoenixes though, as Phoenixes are going to be amassing. Reaper tries to dive in. Oh, we do. Oh! Barely not.
Complete.
Do dip in, then dip the hell out of there. Phoenixes are still amassing, and again, Kelazhur still has not confirmed. Ooh, going for pretty fast tank production. Okay, so it's going to be double Widowmine into tanks. Very safe play out of Kelazhur. As we can see, tanks aren't really necessary. It's not Blink Stalker, so this tank production is just a very safe play out of Kelazhur, as he's still trying to piece together what is going on. Adept is shading across the map. There is no Widowmine this time. We're going straight for that CC, straight for even maybe an SCV. As we shade in, and oh, we commit to the shade. We scout everything. We confirm the 2-on-1 setup. Likewise, Reaper into the main base. Mine drop forced back as Phoenixes are revealed. Now Kelazhur knows. He knows that it's going to be Phoenixes. He knows about the Stargate. He's racing back home with those Widow Mines. He knows that they can't really do much across the map, and we do need them elsewhere. As the Phoenixes know the intercept. Up! The intercept is real. We borrow the mines. And it looks like they will barely not connect. Oh, a little bit too late by a couple of seconds. Phoenixes are forced back, but they will avoid those Widow Mines. Again, quite close there from ArT. Does avoid them. Kelazhur turning back around. Likewise, getting his natural set up. Raxes are on the way. We have a safety Cyclone just to defend against said Phoenixes. And ArT is getting into what Protoss does best. We're getting into a third base, and we're getting into a bay. Colossus production. Phoenix Colossus is on the horizon here for ArT. Phoenix Colossus is, I mean, standard for a reason. We do get a Mule, get an SCV. We threaten that Raven. Ooh, as we bleed out a Phoenix. Not the best trade for ArT. Losing Phoenix this early on is a little bit brutal. So nice pick off there by Kelazhur. Again, behind this, we're still building up, working towards stim, combat shields. We should be staying back at home. Again, once we realized that it wasn't Blink Stalkers, no more tanks. Only the one tank. Now we're getting into Widow Mine production instead. Widow Mines, they shoot up and they shoot down. It's crazy. They shoot up and down. And they're going to be a little bit more effective here against this kind of army of ArT. Meanwhile, ArT likewise stabilizing here on 3 bases. Went for a safety immortal before his Colossus production. Charge is on the way, as to be expected. Blink typically is avoided for quite some time, because Blink Stalkers, they have the same role as Phoenixes. So you go one or the other. Typically not both, at least not until later on in the game, once we bleed out these Phoenixes. And once we want a more mobile army. If we go that far. Meanwhile, Kelazhur has to be very careful to babysit that Raven. Up! As we catch a Widow Mine. Raven so far is kept safe and sound. ArT, if at any moment that Raven looks vulnerable, then we will go for it. Ooh, speaking of, you can see ArT trying to hunt that Raven down, if at all possible, even get a couple of hits off. But Kelazhur is pushing, and ArT is fully aware. Ooh, as Kelazhur, he loads up a drop, is moving out with it. You can see ArT trying to get a read on what's going on. Should recognize that, hold up, your Marine count is looking a little bit lower. We do catch some reinforcements. We slow down some Marines. Marine drop getting into the main base, but ArT, he does have a warp in. Only 3 Stalkers, though. And again, they don't have Blink, so 1, 2 Stalkers going to be going down. 3 Stalkers, expensive losses here for ArT. Oh, we lose the Stalkers, lose the Zealot as well. We're going to force the pickup. Phoenixes are there to deter that medevac, and they will get it. No, they will. Oh my, one more. There we go. Medevac barely goes down. Main army does push forward, but there are 2 Colossi. Mine shots, they do connect. Oh, they take down the sentries. Big tank shots going off as well. The tanks are doing so much here to the Colossi. The Colossi was so exposed. We barely do break through the tank line. At the same time, we do have the Marines. They come back in. They get into the mineral line. 9 probes go down. Good damage dealt here by Kelazhur. His main army is forced back, but he deals damage. Good target firing here as well. He gets up 10 probes in total. Deals a pretty good economic blow here to ArT as he takes his own 3rd base. Phoenixes, they get caught out as well. ArT's bleeding out quite a bit here, but he does spot the drop. Observer does get eyes on the drop there. But can he stop it? Like, he has no Phoenixes. No more Phoenixes. Nothing shoots up. Nothing here shoots up. We have some vanilla Stalkers on the way. Blink is on the horizon, but it's not done yet. We bust into the main. The drop is here. Colossus drop trying to counteract this, but taking a lot of damage. Yeah, that Colossus is so vulnerable. It's going to be going down. Good target firing there out of Kelazhur, and the main army, it's racing back home. Reinforcements head towards the 3rd base. ArT is being pulled apart. He's being pulled apart completely here by Kelazhur. It's just becoming too much. We get 12 probe kills in the main base. We go for the Prism. The Prism barely does survive. Zealots are trickling into their death. Sure, there's a Colossus, and we may force a pick up, but no, we could just die for it. Yeah, we're going for the dive. We're going for the Colossus at the same time. The main army does arrive here at the 3rd base. GG, and Kelazhur takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Again, Kelazhur initially having a hard time scouting, that is true, but eventually he was able to get into his drop play, was able to pull ArT apart. ArT only ever made 4 Phoenixes, and he did bleed them out over time. As ArT was bleeding out Phoenixes, he was not able to replace them, again because he opened Phoenixes, no Blink Stalkers, and he just could not keep up with the drop play. He was pulled apart, Colossus falling left and right, and yeah, it just became a little bit too much to handle there. Impressive stuff there out of Kelazhur. GG. GG, well played. Takes game number 1, but it's a best of 3. It's a best of 3. We can bounce back. I want to believe we can bounce back. Let's see if we can. Game number 2. Ooh, the map has been chosen, and it's going to be on Alkyone. Let's go. Let us go. Catching up with the chat. Cyril won't be playing this tournament. He won't. Cyril, when it comes to notable players that didn't participate in the qualifiers, as was mentioned earlier, when it comes to the big names in Europe, Cyril and Hero Marine were missing. Cyril, I'm still of the opinion that probably Cyril's just taking a break from competing. He's like chilling. So yeah, Cyril is most likely just calming down after IEM. Hero Marine, not certain. Oh, as we do have a bit of a pause. Oh, okay. Yeah, we go. We are going to be restarting here and reloading on a different map. Sorry, on the same map, but on a different version. As Ellie does have a bit of a bug here, unfortunately. Those wondering, the bug, I believe, is on the cliff, right? It's on the cliff where units can get stuck in the main base. They just love it. It's so good. Ladder edition, totally not broken. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm not too familiar. I know Hero Marine streams regularly, so maybe he spoke about it. Maybe he doesn't want to travel. Maybe he's busy. I don't know. But Gabe is not going to be a part of the qualifiers at least, and as a result, won't be a part of the main event either. Which is a bit of a shame. Any other big names that weren't a part of the qualifiers? Lambo, right? Yeah, Lambo also didn't play in the qualifiers either, so I know they were recently playing in an offline event, right? Like there was like a big Gabe tournament in Germany. Like that was last week, to be fair. So they should have had plenty of time to recover from that. So yeah, like suspiciously absent is Lambo and Hero Marine. Again, maybe they want to focus on Dallas. That's a possibility, or maybe they're taking a break. But Lambo and Hero Marine, there are 2 notables that weren't a part of this for whatever reason. As we're getting into game number 2, and here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of Alkyone. We have our pink Protoss player from the land of Poland representing the Platinum Heroes. Down to this series, looking to fight back, it is ArT. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brazilian Terran player, the blue Terran representing ArT Esports. It is Kelazhur. It is Diego, papi, Diego. Let's go. As we are moving out with a bit of an SCV, and there it is. We have a proxy Rax across the map. Let's go. The Rax is here. Now this, we have options. This could just be a 2 Rax. It could be 2 Rax Reaper with 1 Rax across the map, 1 Rax back. But we scout. No shot, ArT. He's so quick to scout. He's already here. And he will be denying this. So he's going to try to. Good RNG out of Kelazhur. For those that are curious, you can restart the building process of that SCV and kind of maneuver it around to get over to the other side. And so far, yep, there we go. It is going to be over to the right-hand side. A second probe does arrive to try to get on top of that SCV. And can we deny it? Up, up. So far, up. We barely cannot, as it looks like the SCV is going to be shut down just in time before the Rax does finish. But here comes a second worker. We're committed. Here comes a second SCV, and we will finish this Rax. But again, we should be transitioning back at home. We do have a Zealot being chronoed out as we speak for ArT. Reaper has arrived. Now, the goal of this build is to go for a proxy Reaper, then you go for a bunker on the low ground. But with how delayed this is, we're going to attempt the bunker. This is bold. This bunker should not finish. The Zealot is coming out as we speak, and Yeah, very ambitious to start up a bunker this delayed, this scouted. Also, my apologies, there was a Zealot on the way, but we canceled. ArT did cancel the Zealot, which means we could try to finish this. Oh, it's gonna finish. No shot. Despite the delay, despite the scout, the bunker will finish. Reaper gets into the main base. Zealot was cancelled, and we are gonna get some damage done. Yeah, one probe goes down. Stalker does arrive. We have to get the hell out of here into the bunker. Oh, and it looks like we barely will get into the bunker. With this, we're going to be delaying mining time at the natural base. We're going to be forcing out a shield battery. Very nice control there out of Kelazhur. He does hide that SCV. Does dodge the shot. And yeah, with that, this is going to get a bit out of hand. Alright, he was cutting corners in the defense. He was a little bit overconfident. The Stalker's going to go down. No shot. Stalker's going to fall. No shield battery. Ay, big pick off there for Kelazhur. It looks like he's going to pay the price for that. He's going to pay the price of a Reaper, but that's still worth it for Kelazhur because he's denying so much mining time here. Ay. Hey, we're stuck on one base. Meanwhile, Kelazhur, he's expanding. Diego, he's just expanding. He's chilling back at home, working on that next step, getting into reactor cyclone production. Now we have a shield battery on the way, but this shield battery is so late, it's so delayed. Again, ArT, basically what happened is after he killed the first SCV, you saw that he pulled back that probe, he canceled the Zealots, and he assumed that he would be fine. He assumed that this would not happen, that he'd be able to deal with this without too much issue. Oracle comes out, we force a salvage. Oh. Ooh, barely salvage in time. Kelazhur gets the hell out of there, but we have Cyclones, and this is ideal against a Stargate opener. Remember, we scouted the Stargate earlier, and this Oracle, it's going to do nothing. We intercept, we catch the Oracle, it's going to go down. A big pick off. Kelazhur in the driver's seat right now. He is looking dominant, as he's going to be threatening a counterattack. Now, thankfully, we have an overcharge. We do have an overcharge back at home, so ArT can hold, but he loses map control, and this Stargate opener didn't do anything. The Stargate opener fell on its face. Now we're transitioning into a Twilight Council into Blink, but Blink is so heavily delayed. Reaper confirms that the Stargate isn't making anything. So we do confirm that nothing's being built, which means there should be a Twilight Council on the way. So Kelazhur, he sees most of what he needs to.
Reporting for action.
Sees the Stalker count. Behind this, reactoring out more Cyclones, getting into his 3-1-1 setup. Oh, catching a Stalker. And getting probes. Viking landing in the main, but no shot. Probes going down to land and Viking harass. Cyclones popping off here, trading 1 for 1. Not ideal for Kelazhur. But he gets 4 probes. Oh, he was even rallying a Liberator across the map as well. Jesus. I think he could have kept going. Unfortunately for Kelazhur, he didn't see the third. This third feels quite greedy considering what Kelazhur is working with. But alas, ArT is able to break free. Going for a big counterattack. Blink is finishing up in a couple of seconds. Is being chronoed as we speak. And it's going to be on Kelazhur to defend. Bunkers on the way. Tank in production. How many gateways? 3. 3-gate Blink. Defending on 3-gate Blink with only Cyclones, it's gonna be a difficult task here for Kelazhur. He's gonna be contained. Liberator does rock up. Stalker's in position. Yeah, we have plenty. Lib goes down. Good defense there by ArT. See here, trying to focus on those Cyclones. Gets 1. With that, ArT is going to be retreating here. And Kelazhur just building up on 2 bases. Building up his tank production. So Kelazhur's going to be stuck on 2 bases for a little bit. The question becomes, is Kelazhur going to take a 3rd base once he gets his tank count up? Or is he going to pull the boys and go for a 2-base all-in? That's my question here for Kelazhur. Do we go for the all-in? Do we go for a longer macro game as ArT is getting his 3rd base up and running? Getting into charge, +1. Not Colossus production, but in towards Archons and Storm. With that Temple Archives. And we have our answer. That's a third CC. That is a third base for Kelazhur. So he is looking for a longer game. So he's looking to just defend here on 2 bases and slowly get a third. Does catch some of the Stalkers. Gets one. One Stalker goes down. Kelazhur going to be pulling back. And just looking to establish his third base. We could try to move out with this army, but especially with these 2 medevacs on the way. But +1 is still a ways off. It is going to be a risky move out here for Kelazhur. And he's pushing. Scans, sees the third. Confirms saturation. And he's not too committed here. He's moving out. Sure, he's taking map control. He's forcing ArT back. ArT happily takes a 4th base. Confident, Papi, and he should be. Taking that 4th. Storm is finishing up in 2 seconds. Storm is done. And we have 2 Storms available. But Kelazhur, he goes straight for the natural. Oh my god, does siege up in time. Does siege. Gas geysers are under threats. Charge also completed here for ArT. Charge plus Storm. He can collapse on this. Does have to be careful. Oh my god. I was like, do we snipe or do we go for the Storm? Drop into the national base. 8 probes go down. Good drop so far. Oh, but it is going to be cleaned up. Yeah, waiting for another big warping of Zealots. It's going to be 20 Zealots here for ArT. Losing gases, losing some gateways. Drop getting further into the natural. Gaining ground, actually. Killing Stalkers. But here we go. We collapse on the tanks, and every single tank is going to be going down. We clean up the tank count, but the drop is getting a surprising amount of damage. And this was not taken seriously enough. Yeah, we get 7 probe kills. Get the hell out of there. Again, the Storms were not used. And behind this, again, we're fully saturated on 3 bases. ArT just now getting his 4th up and running as well. Kelazhur still has a drop to work with. But ArT, he's there to scout. And now ArT, he's just refining his army. He's had Storm for a while. He hasn't revealed it yet, but he has it. Now he's getting into Colossus production. We should be seeing a 2nd Robo soon once the 4th base gets up and running. Ooh, the drop is caught out. And we will get a medevac. Medevac goes down at the same time. Main army does run into the Zealots. Has a lot of Widow Mines. Oh my god. Ooh, big mine shots. A good half of the Zealots went down. And the Widow Mines survived. That's what's important. And once again, that was another good opportunity for a Storm. Right? Like, blanketing those Widow Mines with the Storm and killing them would have been huge. But we still have not used the Storm yet. At the same time, Zelarambai runs into reinforcements. Like, ArT has been very unwilling to Storm, like, needlessly, and has maybe lost some opportunities as he's maxing out energy on those 2 High Templar. Drop towards the main with those Widow Mines. Up! We get some decent connections there, getting a probe. Getting a probe, shaving off some HP on those Zealots. Another mine drop here into the main. Good reactions out of ArT. Does manage to avert disaster. Another mine drop here towards the 4th base. At the same time, here comes the main army. EMPs do miss. We get the feedbacks instead. We still have a Storm. And there it is. Storm zones back the army. Ooh, as a big mine shot goes off. 7 probes go down on the right-hand side. We collapse on the main army, though. We're running out of steam. Where are the Zealots? Where are the Zealots? Where's the buffer for the Colossus? We dive on top of them, and every single Colossus is going to be going down. We get 2. We get 2 Colossi. 1 Colossus survives. That was a big trade there for Kelazhur. Distracting his opponent. Widowmine, it might just barely reset. It looks like it barely will. Oof. Getting another probe. Getting another probe, and what is left here for ArT? He's got a High Templar, he's got a Colossus. Yeah, we get into the mineral line, and probes are falling. Once again, ArT, he's being pulled apart with the drop play. Kelazhur are able to outposition him time and time again. 6 more probes go down. We catch another Colossus. No. Colossus falls. Does fall likewise. A High Templar as well. It's going to get targeted. And yes, ArT, he's surviving. He's holding on. But these losses are so brutal. They're so expensive. Get no mining whatsoever here at the 4th. He's down to 58 workers. Kelazhur getting his 4th base. Getting further and further ahead. And ArT, he's in trouble. He's in trouble right now. Okay, what does he need? He needs like... the problem is he doesn't have any High Templar. I was going to say he needs like 1 or 2 really good Storms. And then maybe he can pull something off. Zellarambe comes in, he gets 4 SCVs. That's something. 6 SCVs even. 7. Oh my god. 8. The Zealots, they're popping off. 8 workers. Not bad. 8 workers go down. Another mine drop being set up on the right-hand side. Is spotted by ArT. He's in position. He's making 2 Colossi at a time. He's rebuilding. Now, Kelazhur... I was going to say, is he making Vikings? He is. I was going to say if he wasn't making Vikings, then maybe ArT can hold on to the high ground and can hold on to the ramp. But Kelazhur, he has everything he needs. The only thing he doesn't have is Liberators, but he doesn't need them. Like, he's far enough ahead. Doesn't even need the Libs. As he does rotate around. Big EMP here on the Colossi. And with that Colossus, they're going to be going down. The Vikings, they go ham. They take down 1 and the 2nd Colossus. Another one trickles out of production. Overcharge is barely going to keep it alive, but the swarm here, the overwhelming force of Terran is just too much. GG gets called, and Kelazhur will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Kelazhur as he takes the series and advances on into a qualifying match. My condolences to ArT. He had his moments, but especially game 2 was so sad to see. Because if you remember, ArT scouted the proxy. He scouted the proxy almost immediately, and he even killed the SCV. But it looked like ArT was not expecting he was not expecting a second SCV to arrive, a second SCV to rock up and to finish the bunker, sorry, to finish the racks and to finish the bunker as well. That was a huge moment for Kelazhur when the bunker finished, and he dealt so much damage early on. Very impressive stuff. An insane amount of damage, and with that, Kelazhur, he had just had a really strong lead, really strong early game. And that snowballed into a win. And unfortunately, ArT couldn't quite recover. If you remember, he even lost his first Oracle. Like, the other game was so brutal. He lost his first Oracle. The Stargate didn't do anything. He had to go into Blink Stalkers, but delayed Blink Stalkers, so they contained, but they didn't get any damage done. And, GG. Rough game there for ArT. With that, Kelazhur, he advances on into the next round, and we can have a look at the bracket together. ! B.